Residents, go in and stay in your houses. Drive the rats in the tank area.
Well, welcome to 2024, first fucking show of the year. And it's on one of the shittiest Monday nights because I don't know about where y'all are at, but it's snowing hell here. So it's definitely great for Vikings, but bad for getting around. So it's been a hell of a day. But man, thanks for tuning in and joining us tonight as we're about to talk about the most anticipated metal albums of 2024. And what a laundry list there is. So we're just kind of choosing the ones that we're most kind of psyched for. But we encourage you guys out there in Morgrotland to tell us about some of the ones that you are like really excited for. But before we get into all this craziness, we're going to take a quick commercial break to our brothers at Villain Arts Tattoos. Let me pull that up real quick and check it out. That's right. You know what to do when Villain Arts Tattoo Convention, the largest in the country, comes to your town. Go there, get yourself a high quality tattoo, check out all the performers and all the vendors, and yours truly will be there in Omaha this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 3 fucking days of intimate hanging out with the Reaper. So come on down. I'll sign some shit. We'll talk about some shit. We'll have a good time. All right. So happy New Year, everybody. What's up there, Kyler? Interesting. He says, hello, my friends. Went on a date, found out she likes Sleep Token. I'd rather be single. Ah, shit. I am sorry to hear that, man.
Well,
it,
maybe Sleep Token is the gateway drug into his heart and into
I don't know. If you really like her, you could just kind of pretend to like it, just to kind of see where things go, or take it as a sign that it is time to go.
You know, there are a couple of songs that are metal-ish, and maybe you could just emphasize those and the parts that you really like that are metal-ish, and then dog the shit out of the pop songs, which are half of them are fucking 100.
Right. So I don't know. Pick your poison, man. Whichever one's better and easier for you. But definitely sorry to hear that. But glad you got to hang out with somebody. So that's cool.
Tonight,
all right.
The night where I mean, every time we go on, the audience plays an important role. But tonight could be the night where it's even more important for the audience to give their input. I mean, you guys could be sitting at home on a computer looking up other shit that we didn't find. And I scoured fairly well, but like you, I've given up, or I'm going to share the bands that I'm the most excited about myself.
Well, and that's the thing. There's so many goddamn bands that are fucking brand new, just got kicked up or signed with a new label. And it's like, well, who are these people? So, if you guys know of some that we don't know about, please feel free to share. Kyler says, we will see how it goes. If it's your way to the booty, listen to it for just a little while.
I love your way to the
And make sure you have a good bottle of wine sitting next to you, because that might help drown out the sound. So how was your holidays, people? Everybody out there, in Morgrot land, Hoof Beast, do anything fun?
Just my sister came from Seattle, and we just hung out and had people over, and we did what do they call it? A spirit board. We did that quite a bit, and some demon didn't like me, and I told them I wasn't afraid of them one fucking bit, and then they fucking said goodbye and would not come back.
I mean, that's kind of how that works. You got to remember, in the spiritual world, you have to stand your ground. They work for you. You don't work for them.
And that's what she told me before. She said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" We're like, "Hell yeah, let's do it. What could be the consequences?" And she went over that stuff. And then because they've had them in their house, and then she said, or no, it was actually her husband said, "You got to stand your ground with them. Let them know who's boss. Don't be afraid. If you're afraid, then they're really
they got you." And it's always best to have a salt circle around you. Just sprinkle it around wherever you're sitting, because nothing bad can come in.
Yeah, we did.
And you are in ultimate control. All right. I didn't do much. Attempted to go out on New Year's Eve a little bit, but there was so much goddamn peopling going on. I was just like, nah. I'd rather just go home, drink, and watch horror movies. Safer, cheaper. You know what I mean? But, we got out for a little bit, but that's all right. We got home early enough to beat all of the drunks on the road, so. Yeah. Meg the Horrible says she's got my PBR. I got Canada's finest right here. Awesome. Cheers to you. What's up there, James Swanson? He says, hello, metal family. New viewer. See, I'm digging this mojo. See, you even got Hoof Beast, so hot under the collar, he had to show off his magic. What's up, Mouse Bong? Happy New Year to you. She says, legends. Not legends. We're just half a century old. Just playing.
Is one of my favorites. Mouse Bong always has, I think she listens quite a bit to all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And she's really down with stuff. So Mouse Bong and everybody else who's here, I'm glad you're here. And please share in the comments, and Reaper will post them up there. Any bands that you know of that we may not have hit upon.
Absolutely. Please do.
I rattled off about 15 to Reaper, so he kind of knows what's coming from me.
Cody, what's happening, man? From Defile the Crown Art, or Defiler of the Crown? Yeah, Defiler of the Crown Arts. I always want to say Defile the Crown. That's actually a independent man. But thanks for being here, brother. All right. So yeah, let's jump into this, man.
All right.
So for about the last 5 or 6 years, man, it almost feels like 10 years, to be honest with you. Back in, I think it was 2019, this legend of metal royalty dropped us a brand new single and a sick ass fucking tour as well, called something the Masquerade. Damn it, I can't even remember the whole title. Well, anyways, and hinted towards a double album called The Institute. And of course, COVID sets in, screws up all plans of just about anything, especially in the upper echelon of metal, because they just, I guess, took that as a time to chill or whatever. I don't know. But COVID passes, we're post-COVID now, and it's still not out. But towards the tail end of 2023, it has been, and I've actually checked actual sources on this. We'll talk about that another time. But the album is definitely near completion and is ready to be released in 2024. We just don't know when because we don't have a date yet. But I would say probably summer or fall because this particular performer always drops albums in the fall. Go figure. Spooky time. And of course, I'm talking about none other than King D. God damn it. We have been waiting for so fucking long for the King to finally release this upon the world. Just an awesome story he's concocted with one topic that's kind of been touched upon, but not in great length. And this involves the old school sanitariums. So I, for one, am definitely ready to see that. Now, there is also a possibility of a Merciful Fate record coming out this year, too. I've heard some chatter here and there. So it could be that, well, the reason he's been so fucking busy, besides touring with Merciful Fate, pretty much the latter half of 2023 is why, it's taking so long to get this stuff out. Oh, yes. I could not agree more there, Meg the Horrible. Says, fuck COVID shits destroyed us all. Yes, it did. And let me tell you, I got it towards the end of 2023, the new generation of COVID, and it fucking sucked for about a month.
Oh.
Vaccine, no vaccine, it don't matter. You're gonna get that shit, and it happens. And when it does, you feel like it's death, but you always get past it. So, hey, what's up, Paul? Good to see you, brother.
I haven't caught COVID yet, and
you're lucky, man.
Really fortunate. But I've had the Russian vaccine when I lived in Kazakhstan. And then I got fucking Moderna when we came here. That made me so fucking sick. The Russian ones made me pretty sick too. And then I got Pfizer a couple times. But
dude, you probably just have so much chemical, like, new, what makes you inside, just like a cesspool, that it's like, oh, COVID. Can't penetrate that shit. Oh, Paul says he had the Wu flu in February 2020. Ooh. Yeah, that was right when it was fucking fresh out the box. My goodness. But yes, we are happy to see that the King is finally releasing some stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited for this album. This one, I knew you wanted to talk about that one, so I wasn't going to dare even attempt that one. But that's probably in my top 5. Especially now it's been a long time between albums. I'm really excited to see what he's come up with. Because
not to mention, man, his voice has never sounded better.
Yeah.
Since recent albums. So I think vocal performance wise, this thing's going to be really cool.
Well, we'll see how things turn out this summer, but damn, I would love for us to meet somewhere and go to that King Diamond show together.
Oh, we will.
We could
don't you worry about that. Masquerade of Madness.
Kyler, Paul, Mousebong, like all these guys who come on the show regularly, we could all meet up together and maybe one central location go see the King. That would be so
fun. Yes, and toast some fine liquor. Oh shit, Mousebong says I had it 3 times. I'm frail. Aw, that sucks. I understand.
So my first one that I am probably the most stoked about coming out, and I'm stoked about all of these, is
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Viljarta. Viljarta, they're out of Sweden. They are a little bit like their vocals are kind of metalcore-ish, but they are super, super complicated, dissonant. They don't really have any black metal aspects, but it's just really weird, dissonant. To me, it is not deathcore. Like they don't have those type of predictable,
Oh, yeah.
drive me nuts that are so boring and predictable. These guys are all over the place, outstanding.
I call it talk scream.
I don't know how the hell they could memorize to play these songs. It's kind of like A Causal Intrusion, Bantafaxath, Mithridatum, like really hard to memorize this stuff. But Viljarta has one. They've already released 3 singles. I don't know how many are going to be. It's rumored that it's going to be an EP. And the artists that they've got for the artwork so far, this is some bizarre, twisted. It's more in kind of a illustrative, kind of like old Japanese illustration style, but monsters that are just warped and mixed with different types of animals.
Oh, that's my kind of jam right there.
And it's got kind of like a white background, which is different for them. It's not as dark. But I've heard 2 of the songs so far, and they're so good. Every one of their albums are outstanding. I think this would be the 4th, with if this is an EP, but they're already releasing stuff. I don't have a release date on it yet, but Viljarta, Vildjhrta, Viljarta. They're out of Sweden. Fucking stunning, amazing band. So excited. If they come to the States, I'm fucking going to see them for sure.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Mousebong asks, is it Vildjarta? Looking for it now, as in that particular spelling.
Yeah, that's actually it. Yeah, I forgot the J, I think.
Yeah, well, you know. Everything is spelled a little bit differently over there, but still pretty easy to say it, at least. Unlike some bands.
The only thing with Viljarta that doesn't hit with me as like 5 out of 5 star is the vocals. Like they're more metalcore, and I want my vocals to be less yelling and more fucking dark, fucking demonic. That's what I want.
There's really something to be said by having a character to your voice. As we've seen throughout metal history, anyone can talk, yell, scream like they're, pissed off at somebody. That's all fine, well, and good. But when you sound like a fucking ogre or some kind of mythological beast that's ready to tear your nuts off and feed them to you. Now that is talent.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I don't like deathcore. It's boring.
like I didn't like David Vincent of Morbid Angel. I didn't care for his vocals on the first album, but and then he talks
as
about
time went on.
He's talked about it in an interview. They toured so much from I think it was 88 to 90, that when Blessed Are the Sick came out, his vocal folds had developed a lot. And then by the time Covenant came out after Blessed Are the Sick, his vocals were fucking spot on. I love his vocals.
Meg the Horrible says, fuck yeah, tear your nuts off. I mean, that's just good, vocal screaming, in my opinion. Sound like you came from the abyss, man. Put the chill in your spine. That shit's cool because it sticks with you. It's memorable and original at the same time.
And by the way, like my favorite black metal vocalist is the dude from Marduk.
Dude,
vocals are
that fucking record they put out. Oh my fucking hell, man.
Yeah, I love that.
I play it all the time now.
Yeah.
It's so good.
This last week I listened to that all. That was my go-to for last week.
And it was really, really cool to see just how many people, like, over the the holiday season were posting pics of, hey, just got my dying fetus, make them beg for death record. I was like, fuck yeah. You must have been listening to the show. We weren't kidding, man. That fucking record is beyond fucking good. I mean, it, like I said, one of the things I loved about it was, you know, I know what they sound like. I've heard their previous work, but damn it, when an album cover catches me like that, I know I'm in for a fuck of a ride. So I was really, really happy to see that. It's like, yeah, man, fucking, you know. So this next artist, everyone's going to have their own opinion about it, and I know it. Hey, Achilles, Happy New Year to you as well. Good to see you, my friend. Ta-da! There he is. All right. But I'm actually very excited about this. And it's awesome that he was able to pull this project together and have it ready for release in 2024. So before I say too much more about it, boom! Kerry motherfucking King. You know him as one of the amazing guitarists of Slayer. And, you know, when they did their final tour and they had their last show and they're done and all that shit, he was the one who said, I'm not done.
Exactly. He's kind of pissed.
I didn't want this to stop. I was forced.
Yeah.
You know, I could just see it now, you know, Tom Araya, you know, in one of his fucking suits, because, you know, you're seeing pictures nowadays of him looking like a normal dude. Like, hey, I got money or something. Just like, you know, with his little team of lawyers. Nope, we're done, man. I don't want to do this no more. I mean, shit. I mean, Dave Lombardo, you know, he's never going to stop playing. He plays with just about everybody, every new opportunity he can get, and good for him. You know, and Gary Holt, of course, you know, he's got Exodus and rocking out with that shit. But Kerry was like, dude, this, I didn't want to stop. And every interview I read on that, I was just like, dude, you need to start something of your own. You need to, you know. So he's got his first solo record coming out this year. And so many critics have said, well, it's what you expect it to be. It's what you expect it to be. But you know what, though? I don't really care if it sounds like, you know, his riffs in Slayer. But I think it's going to be something more. We're talking about a fresh new voice.
That's what I'm excited about.
That's the most exciting part. I mean, come on, let's face it. Tom Araya, he's recognizable. Sure. You know, when you hear Slayer, you know it's Slayer. But what if it's somebody that can actually, like, technical wise, use their scream in so many different ways?
Right. Who's more dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to shed a whole new light and bring that style of, you know, speed, thrash, whatever you want to call it, into where we're at here in 2024. I think it's going to be fresh, and I'm sure he's going to have a badass drummer, because, you know, Kerry King ain't going to play with no fucking slapstick.
Anybody would line up to play with Kerry King.
Oh, man.
And if he asked me, and if he asked probably most of these really successful vocalists to join, to like come on, I'm sure he would have them lined up.
Oh, dude, he probably had to beat them off like fucking Beatles fans.
Kerry King is go back with the tempo changes and the kind of style changes from South of Heaven and Season of the Abyss. That's what I love. That
was the fucking sweet spot there. I really do. And I'm pretty sure that he's not the only guitarist in the band either, but I'm sure he's probably main riffer, you know, doing the leads and stuff, but probably have a killer fucking, you know what I mean? Rhythm guitar player that could probably do solos too. You never know. You might see like a new Hanneman King kind of combo kind of thing, you know, because not all the old guys pick old guys to play with them, you know, unless they're just like extremely good at what they do. But I just think it's new blood. It's a fresh take on the sound, and I can't wait to hear the voice.
Me too. Yeah, that's probably what I'm the most curious about is Kerry King's project.
Absolutely. Paul says Tom was doing poetry. Essentially, yes, he was just doing almost like what you would call slam poetry, but angrily. Because I mean, when he screams, there's no dynamicism to it. It's not nasally. It's like head voice, if that makes sense.
He was okay in the Seasons of the Abyss album, but then once the dynamic came out in extreme metal, then he never really evolved. He didn't try anything else, or he didn't try to make it give us something a little bit newer. Now, would I want that for the King? I mean, King Diamond? No, King Diamond is so...
King's gonna be King.
Nobody sounds like King, so let him do what he wants to do.
He's the man of 1,000 voices. You know. Let's see, Cody. Oh man, we got all kinds of stuff here. Let's see. Cody says, I love Kerry King, but not a Slayer fan. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Because when you break it down to Slayer's core, it was certain musicians that really made that band. It was not Tom. It wasn't his amazing bass playing ability or anything like that. It was the backup band. There's so many great bands in metal history where the front man was the weakest link in the bunch, man. And I hate to say that, but it's true. So when you see bands go through a lot of member changes, especially vocalist after vocalist, it's because they just hadn't found that guy to set off what they were doing. And he says, honestly, I think it's the vocals that threw me off. And that's pretty much, I think, especially the people in their 20s having heard Slayer for the first time, they're probably like, you know, because they're used to the last 15 to 20 years of metal with so many powerful voices, able to do so many different things, so many different genres that it's like you hear Tom and it's like, next. So definitely be looking out for Kerry King's new band. And I love the fucking logo. Love it.
So my next one is Pallbearer.
Ah, yes.
Pallbearer already finished all of their recording, and they started the mixing way back in, and I don't think there's a release date yet, and I don't get that why. I know it takes 6 to 9 months right now to get vinyl available. Maybe they're waiting.
Sometimes that's what they wait for.
But Pallbearer finished their recording in August of 2023, and the thing that they said, and they will not, and they've kept it really close to the band. I haven't heard, and I haven't been able to find them. Maybe somebody else out there has found what the new stuff sounds. But they said they promised that the new album is going to sound surprising. I hope.
Confetti. That was awesome. Say hello, Salem.
But I saw them back in they live. I should have looked for them playing live, like because they did not play any of the new songs live when I saw them in June last year. But I'm telling you, if you ever get the chance to go see Pallbearer, the way they record their albums, and I love Pallbearer. One of their albums is one of my top 30 all time. Excellent. Their singing is really clean, really crisp. But the bass, when you see them live, the bass is so grungy, dirty, fuzzy, and it's really prominent. And
make your titties bounce.
It will. It will at least it would probably make some nipples stand up hard because ooh boy. But
you know,
that was the big takeaway when I saw them live, was how prominent the bass was. So I'm really curious. They said it's going to be surprising. Oh yes, Kyler, there you go.
Well, we mentioned the nips, so
I think nips are mentioned on this program. We have to bring up Danzig's lazy nip.
Let's see. Meg asks, same pallbearer that did the typo cover, or I think that's what she's trying to say.
I'm
Did they
trying.
do some type of cover of any other song?
I am not remembering right now. I have. Let's see. Do I have it here? It's over across the room. I have the vinyl. I have all the CDs. I could have shown that, but
Gotcha.
I don't they could have. I'm not remembering right now though.
Hey, Babylon, what's up, brother? Says love pallbearer.
Yeah, new album
Yes,
coming.
we do.
I can't wait. And that one should be.
Yeah.
If they
I
finish,
still got to get down with them.
hell yeah.
I have so many bands on my list of things to try to get through. So I think I'll spend the week kind of getting to know them a little bit more. And
Well, their offering from 2020 is not what I would say go for, because they sounded a little bit uninspired. Like I would give that album a 2.5 or a 3 out of 5 stars. Like it wasn't that great. But Heartless came out in 2017. That's an amazing album. And the one that came out before that in 2014 is, oh my, Worlds Apart is my favorite pallbearer song. And that's on the 2014 album. That's so good. So if you want to go listen to pallbearer, the first song I would look for is Worlds Apart. And I think on Spotify, that might be the first song, unless they just released a single and everybody's going crazy about it right now.
Gotcha. And let me just take a step back here. So we have our first cool comment about, I'm looking forward to the new Inquisition album, Veneration of Medieval Mysticism and Cosmological Violence. Woo! Try saying that 20 times fast. Definitely hip to them, and I will definitely check that out.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't too, like, a lot of people have killed the messenger with him because he has some pedophile history.
Oh!
And he had some Nazi history. And so like even listen to his music. Like I want to listen to good music. If it's about fucking Hitler bullshit, then no, I don't want to hear that shit.
Well, who the fuck does?
And he talks about children at all. I don't want to hear that shit. But
I would definitely just pull up some lyrics and see what's in there.
Yeah. But there's
you know what I mean?
There's a lot of people that will not even give Inquisition a chance anymore. And they put out some damn amazing albums.
I was going to say, I was definitely cool with them, but I didn't know that info.
Yeah.
So, but then again, when I listen to music, I don't always like get so deep into what their personal lives are like, because all of us metal musicians, metal lovers, we're not saying that we're all sick and twisted, but we're different, in many different ways. We're a little eccentric, maybe. That's definitely me, the Black Wizard. But that's a little much. So, but then again, so much shit gets spread around. Not saying that what you're saying is not correct, but so much shit gets spread around on the net. You never know if the source is credible, not credible. So, but if that's true, you can't tell me that type of thing wouldn't come out in lyrics.
Yeah.
Because typically if it's a singer, they somehow inject their feelings about things,
Yeah, they'll really get like Deathspell Omega as well. And I just fucking, like, I'd love to listen to Deathspell Omega as a fucking instrumental. That music is so amazing, especially the Paracletus album that came out, I think, was at 2007, 2008, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. Well, even if you take a band like Iced Earth, I mean, that was just musically a fantastic fucking band, regardless of what transpired with certain people. But always had good vocalists, great music, but, damn shame, personal life. But, let's see. Babylon says, pallbearer are Arkansas boys like us. Typo cover was immense.
Yeah,
Nice. Now I really gotta check it out.
they're really
Holy
good.
balls.
Check out Worlds Apart. That's the first one I would say listen to.
I think I'll dive in right there for sure. And, happy belated birthday to the late, great Peter Steele. That
Yeah.
just came up recently. So I'm sure on all my socials, you saw the big, happy birthday to Pete. So it's almost becoming like a national holiday, and I fucking love it. It's just a dynamic, one of a kind musician, man.
Like
Right up there with Lemmy and Dimebag and some of the other guys.
yeah,
Especially Ronnie James Dio.
he was so unique out the gate, and he never changed.
Nope.
And he never tried to be anything else. And
He
I
never
think,
looked for an apology either, or didn't look to give an apology. That's what I meant.
Right.
Very unapologetic man.
yeah, he didn't give a fuck what people thought. He was just gonna, but he was so honest and he had such integrity. He was just like, I play fucking rock and roll. Here we go. That's what he did every fucking time.
And he didn't care if people hated it. That's a real musician there. I don't give a fuck if you don't like it. If I like it, that's what matters. Oh, okay. He says Babylon says they covered Sabbath over and over. Oh, okay. Well, that's fucking awesome. Let's see. Mousebong says, sadly, I have lost count of how many metal musicians I like are either. Oh, gotcha. I don't think Inquisition lyrics are going to reflect those things. It's usually just about Satan and shit. Well, I can get down with that.
Yep, I agree.
Keep it there. Just don't use the word child. Maybe I'll give it a listen.
No, I don't think he would dare. I don't think he would dare.
I mean, he'd be pretty fucking stupid to out himself that way.
Yeah,
but
that's like,
insane people tend to do that, though. They kind of tell on themselves without realizing it. But
if you know, now you know.
Right. Mousebong says people will always judge, but I can separate the art from the artist, and that's how it should be. Speaking of which, not that this is on my list per se just yet because I don't have enough info on it, but record execs have now officially heard the new Marilyn Manson album, and Kyler mentioned this a little bit further back up in the feed, that he's hoping that album will come out this year. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything as far as, what company is going to pick it up or if they're going to pick it up. He's did this with the same guy that's been doing the last few records of his that have actually brought him more success. I forget the guy's name. Damn it.
If he doesn't go to the darkness that he delved into for Antichrist Superstar, then I'm not interested.
Well, I almost kind of think this one's going to be probably his darkest effort yet, considering all the shit that he's been going through the last couple years. And I don't know if you've seen the man lately, but he's back to his original weight during Antichrist. Like, he is completely, he's no longer, you know what I mean? He is, I don't know if he just wafted the biggest motherfucking vat of cocaine he could get his hands on, or he worked out and ate right. I don't know. But the man looks like he did 20 goddamn years ago.
Is he growing his hair out again?
It's still short, but it's like all slicked back. So it's long-ish. I don't know. I don't know if, he would want to try to quote unquote bring that era back. He could still do it musically and still look the way he does now. I don't know. Let's see here. Mousebong says he definitely did not work out. I'm sure he probably didn't. Who's to say?
He probably still has no abs, plural, just ab.
I was going to say, I don't think he ever did. I just think he was just a thin, lanky, tall guy, because he is pretty, pretty tall in person, and not just with the boots. Says good for him though. He was looking real swollen. Yes, because he was abusing a shit ton of alcohol, more than I could ever consume, and just not eating well, which is weird because when you got money, you can eat the best you can. I don't understand that. He's not, having to hit the fucking dollar store for some ramen. But who's to say? So, of course, I had to find the one Doom record that I'm extremely excited for because I am by far a huge motherfucking fan of Matt Pike. Matt Pike is not just as a vocalist, but especially his riffing has always been just so chunky, so tasty, so groovy. Matter of fact, I posted a video of him just playing a riff. He doesn't look like your typical dude either. Like, he's straight up Viking. He's all, swole like this, but his gut's just like, I mean, you gotta love that. You gotta admire that. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Got a fucking porn stash and some greasy, slick back long hair. What the fuck's wrong with that? I think it's great. I mean, shit, Lemmy made that shit famous. But High on Fire has a new record coming out. And I could not be more excited. Now, he's a bit thin there, because I think this photo's old. Because every newer photo I tried to get, they wouldn't let me upload it to the system. So I was just like, all right, whichever one they let me have, I'll take it. I'll run with it. But if you're a High on Fire fan, I mean, they're not your typical Doom band. Like, they do have faster tunes. They're almost like a darker, chunkalicious form of COC. I mean, I love Corrosion of Conformity, but they're, you know what I mean? Babylon Sun, you are absolutely fucking correct. He's like built like the real Thor. That's because people don't seem to realize that the mythological real Thor was a fat motherfucker. He was built like a brick shit house, but because he loved to eat and drink that fucking mead till the cows came home, he was a big boy. Marvel fucked that up, ladies. Sorry in advance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to that because he kind of went off on his own, did some solo stuff, which is actually just as good if you're a Matt Pike fan or a fan of High on Fire. Like I said, though, it is different. But it's going to be really cool to see now that they're back together and they got a new record coming out, how it's going to go. I don't think it's definitely going to sound like High on Fire. It's going to be a little bit more energized, but I think it's going to be doomy as fuck.
That's what I hope. I want them to go more doomy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Achilles says, I'm hoping to see a new album in 2024 from King or Merciful Fate or both. Yeah, we actually talked about that at the beginning of the show, brother. And as far as I know, King's double record is coming out. I'm not going to tell you how I know, but about 6 months from now, you'll find out.
I know. To know.
So definitely, if you're a doom metal fan, if you haven't checked out High on Fire before, I definitely recommend it. No specific record, but most people are very stuck on the first one by them. But I would even say their third record is even like way cosmically better. So check it out. They're easy to find.
Yep. All right, my next one, and I'm going by level of excitement, and this one is not 100% confirmed. In 2000, so this band put out, I think it was 2016, they put out an EP. It's one song that's 30 minutes long. No, it's not Bell Witch.
Or Sleep.
And to me, these guys are the kings of dissonant math metal. Out of Montreal area, Quebec, and we're talking about Luc Lemay's Gorguts.
Ah, yes.
Posted now. He's come out. He did 2 tours this year, and he talked about it. And he said in 2017, he said he was tired of composing, and he didn't feel like he had anything in him. And then last year, while he was on tour, I think in July, he said, "I'm ready to go now. I'm writing stuff." So hopefully this year, I love Gorguts. And if you have not heard, the first 2 albums are like traditional, a little bit of a yawn, in my opinion, death metal. But when Obscura came out in 1998, the fucking bassist he had for that band, oh my gosh, so good. It is so good. It's so bizarre, so weird. They played everything so aggressively, but they only turned the gain up to number 1.
No shit.
It's not distorted, but they're playing so fucking hard. It's so good. Obscure
I like
was
that.
Color Sands is so good too. I think that was 2012 maybe. 2012, 2014, something like that.
I love the Obscura album.
Yeah, but I really want Gorguts to put out a new one. That I would be so excited for that. And they are supposed to. I just can't find anything on it. But a lot of other people who have done podcasts have talked about this. They're pretty sure this is coming out. And Luc Lemay is like, I'd love to get him on for an interview. He's such a legend.
That'd be sick as hell.
And he's a classical composer. And if you get the Colored Sands album, he has one of his classical music pieces on that album. And it's really good classical music. Like, I love it. It's really good. So I'm a huge Gorguts fan. I wish I could play bass for them, because I don't like the bassist they have right now. I don't like his tone. And he plays a 6-string with a pick, and I hate that. It drives me fucking nuts. But and he doesn't really move and like get into it all that much like he should. But anyways, but it is really tough stuff. But their bassist is like a guitarist playing a 6-string, and it's tough stuff. It's not easy at all.
Well, being a composer like that, it doesn't surprise me that there's not a whole lot of movement in it, because, you kind of have that headspace of being like this very well-respected, classical musician. So even though it's metal, he might still have that, like that kind of mentality. So maybe that's why he's just so into it, and it's, so technically
like live, the stage.
Yeah.
The bassist is more, he's just like sitting there playing. But it is tough. It is really hard, but I would have to throw a headbang in there every now and get my hair whipping around.
Oh, for sure.
Let
me see real quick here. Mouse Bong says Gorguts confirmed for Maryland Death Fest 2024.
I
Fuck
would
yeah.
love to go up. Ahab is on that. I would love to.
Oh shit. I might have to see if I can steal us some passes. See if we can't get into that thing. It says set will still include songs from the first 2 albums, Considered Dead and The Erosion of Sanity, and those songs will be deep cuts that haven't been performed in over 15 years. Oh. I feel you. I totally do, Babylon Sun. He says, I hate totem pole musicians. Some of the bands that you would have never expected from do it, if that makes sense. And I find it a lot with like the big technician bands, like the ones that are just playing stuff so crazily that they can't move because they might fuck up.
Yeah, that's probably Dave Mustaine, because he's also doing vocals at the same time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's tough stuff to play.
As far as drummers go, whenever you would see Nicholas Barker, formerly of Cradle of Filth and Dimmu Borgir, he was just all wrists, man. His body never moved. Never had expressions on his faces. He would just, do one of these. It was so fucking fast. Never looked like he really enjoyed what he was doing. I think he was sucking wind more than anything else. But yeah, it's always good when we can see, these guys really kind of lay into their shit.
Tight and effortless almost. Like the drummer that I want to have on for an interview from Vitriol is that way. It's like he has no movement. But the drummer that I love to watch more than any other drummer is Frost from Satyricon.
Oh yeah, he's all over the place.
Yeah.
Even Behemoth's drummer does a lot of hair whipping.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool because, a lot of those blast beat, super fast, quarter note equals 220 BPM or beyond. They really can't afford to move much because they really have to watch what it is they're hitting, what they're doing, which is why, when I do something in that realm, like for your record, I try to lay back a little bit so I can pretend like I'm trying to kill my drums, but still give it the prowess that it deserves, like the technical parts. I mix it up because I like to get into my shit, because if I don't look like I'm having fun, I'm probably not. All right. So you just did a pick?
Yeah, I think I just did Gorguts.
Okay, that's right. All right. So let me see who's next. Oh, yes. So, we are plagued during the holidays by the worst fucking music on the face of the planet. And one of my all-time favorites and dream interview, if you're listening, Glenn Benton, I would love to have you on the show. I don't know how many channels I have to go through to get to you, but I will someday. Saved us. Literally fucking saved us right as that bullshit holiday day came around. Bury Your Cross with Your Christ came out, and I definitely know that he did that shit on purpose, and I love that man for that. And if you haven't rocked it out, go to Deicide on Spotify right now and crank that shit up. Holy fuck. Of course, I'm talking about motherfucking Deicide.
Yeah.
They have their full length coming out now that they've dropped that single. I don't have an actual date for it just yet, but look for it very soon because, obviously the single has blown up. It's fucking amazing. It's the type of Deicide that you expect, like the level of quality, but it's not like ho-hum. It's not like, okay, we've already heard this before kind of thing. And Glenn's never sounded better, man. He sounds older he gets, he sounds eviler. I just love it.
When you hear Glenn Benton, there's no mistaking who that is.
Fuck no.
He belts it out too.
Just fucking tasty, man. That mixture of the high demonic screams with the low gutturals on top of each other, that shit just melts me in all the right places.
Yeah. First band I saw coming out of COVID in 2021, I think it was August 3rd, 2021, I went and caught Deicide in Atlanta. And
oh, man.
Fun show. But they've got a new guitarist now, too. And so they
got
the guy left from he works for Dean Guitars. And I think he's gone. And they've kept the taller, bald guy who plays on our left side as we're looking at the stage. He plays on the left side of the stage.
Nice. I miss Atlanta. God damn, that was a good show.
Yeah,
I still think about it.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
You guys played like 2 weeks after that. I think it was 2 weeks after that. You guys.
Oh, no shit.
Yep. That was about, I think, 2 weeks after.
Actually, I think you might have told me that, and I said the same thing I'm saying now. Damn it! I wish I could have been here. No, Atlanta's great, man. Great metal scene.
Yeah, the Masquerade is a great place to see shows. Heaven and Hell or Purgatory. I've seen them in all the different venues they have. Heaven is the biggest one.
Oh, nice.
And now they've also purchased another thing. I think it's called the Underground. That's it's about a mile away from the normal place. I saw Cattle Decap there.
Nice. Kyler apparently needs more rum. Well,
Well,
as long as you enjoyed it, sir.
I can't sympathize with you there. Rum is too sweet for me. I need Jim Beam or
Yeah. If it doesn't have bite, I don't want it.
it's too sweet.
I don't do the sweet stuff. That's why when, every like wonderful bourbon or whiskey maker that I've always loved comes out with the apple and now there's like honey.
Stag. Yeah, honey and stag. Like the stag one has like a cherry taste.
Peanut butter infused. Can you believe that shit?
Yeah, fuck that.
I could never eat a Reese's ever again. If I tried to drink that shit. Not to mention I'd probably be puking my guts out. Okay. Oh, shit. Achilles says, it's 3 a.m. here, Edinburgh, Scotland. Damn.
Edinburgh.
I actually have, I've traced my roots back. I have a certain percentage of Scottish blood in me. So that's awesome. Absolutely, man. Thank you for joining us and hanging out with us, man. And have a killer fucking day tomorrow, and hopefully you dig the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure, brother. Paul says Crown Royal and Seagram's here. Nothing wrong with that. Now,
Crown Royal. I love
that's
Crown
called being a responsible whiskey drinker. You don't fuck with the recipe. You don't add in sweet shit. I swear they come up with a fucking strawberry flavor. I'm gonna set their fucking business on fire.
really
fucking
good.
Crazy.
Seagram 7,
anyway,
Seagram 7 is a good cheaper bourbon for those of you.
Oh, it's smooth.
Yeah, I love it. Crown Royal, fucking love that shit.
Yeah, that's why people always fucking like shit on me for drinking Black Velvet. I'm like, dude, it's fucking smooth, and it doesn't burn a hole in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a Jim Beam guy mostly, Jim Beam and Jack Daniels, but I love all those others. They're really good too. Wild Turkey I got into for a while.
Oh,
it has a little bit of a aftertaste, and
it does.
That when I was comparing it with Jim Beam, like I'll go with that tiny cinnamon flavor out of Jim Beam, and I just stick with that now.
Ah, man, Beam and Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark is like one of my favorites of all time.
Really good. Really good.
Hell yeah. Now that we've given you all bourbon advice, if I can fucking speak now, we're going to go ahead and move on. Although we have oh, wait a minute now. This is true. If this is true, I'm going to look. Hoof, Maker's Mark has an ambassador program that you can sign up for, and they put your name on the barrel, and when it's done aging, you can buy bottles. I'm doing that.
Oh my gosh.
You and me both. We need to do that. We need to have a Tracks of the Damned bourbon barrel made by the great Maker's Mark. We need to do that.
Oh, I love Maker's Mark. I love the wax.
Shit.
Yeah, Maker's Mark is delish. It's just a little bit more expensive.
It is, but it's actually fucking worth it, though.
Yeah, it's really good. You deserve to have really good whiskey like that. And there's many.
Seriously.
There's many other bourbons.
You know, Johnny Walker, you're spending $50-$60, maybe more, depending.
Right, so that English whiskey is Scottish whiskey. I don't like it.
Apparently he says Babylon Sun has a barrel.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, you're gonna have to take pictures. We're gonna have to
Oh, yeah.
post it. That's awesome.
All right, I think we are up for me.
Yep.
And the one that I'm so excited for is this band right here.
Niall.
Oh, I fucking love me some fucking Niall.
Oscar says, not even single malt scotch.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't like it. It's just, it's got like strong aftertaste. Like I just don't like
it. Does.
Yeah.
I on such occasion I can get down with Glenlivet. That is as far as it goes. I can't do any of those other ones, man. Especially the one that just literally tastes like paint thinner to me. That everyone's always like, I'm a Jameson person. Sorry, tastes like paint thinner. I don't know how y'all do it.
Jameson and Proper 12, though, are really good with either ginger ale or the number one is Squirt. That grapefruit kind of.
Okay, yeah, I remember some Squirt.
It's really good with Squirt. Really good. But anyways, I'm really excited for Niall. I saw them a couple of years ago again, and they're fucking outstanding. Every fucking album they put out is really technical, super brutal, almost a little bit slammy at times. Carl, thank you so much for all your years of dedication to your craft. He's just a stunning metal musician, and I'm so excited for this album because they've got a new guitarist, and he helped out when I saw him live with the backing vocals. And he wasn't quite as developed as the other guys. I mean, because this guy's, he looked like he's probably 25 to 30 years old, something like that. But I'm sure once he gets in front of like an amazing microphone that he'll sound like a freaking beast. But he was also playing really tough shit at the same time.
Right.
But I'm really excited about Niall. It's a great band to go see. They work the crowd real well, and they slow things down and make it so fucking sludgy heavy, but without fuzz. It is a fucking amazing time whenever you go see Niall. I know it's going to be a great album. My favorite album is Those Who the Gods Detest. That's my favorite one that they've done so far, but every album. The last one I thought, Something Writes, that one was really, really good too. But
oh, hell yeah, man.
So excited for Niall. They definitely have a new one coming out. The sooner the better. I'm ready.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. So I kind of have two that I am super excited about. One that has only been substantiated just recently, actually. So I'll save that one for last. I guess that'll be honorable mention, whatever you want to say. Now, this band I have been with since the start of their career. There was something about them that really was different. I can remember seeing their photo, just their fucking first couple of album covers that just said, play me, enjoy me, and you'll stay with me for fucking ever. A lot of people will say it's just, it's poser-ish. I don't think so because of the time that they came out. Actually, I think that they started a trend that so many other symphonic black metal bands, have done in recent years. But they're still, to me, like the nastiest, darkest. They have excellent concept albums. And I mean, 30 years later, they're still at the top of their game. People call them mainstream, and that's just because they've had a bit of success, but I don't think they really care or give a fuck about the mainstream, which is awesome. But their music never stops. It never stops. It never sucks. And I'm really excited because it's been quite a while. since their last record. Because last year, 2023, they released a live album, and it was their first live album ever, which is pretty cool. But this is like all new original material. And
2022, they had a new one. It was really
that's
good.
it. Yeah. Okay.
It was like red. They had like these red demons, and it was like Hieronymus Bosch, like eating the little humans and stuff. It was really cool.
I think I forgot that one.
All over the and that album was quite good. Like I thought it was.
Oh yeah.
Their last 3 or 4. I thought it was really good.
Well, I mean, I got real excited when Danny Filth actually said in a interview, somebody had asked him about, you guys are in the studio, you're recording and stuff like that. What can we expect? And he says it kind of goes back to the Dusk and Her Embrace era. And that's one of my favorites because that's like right at the fucking beginning. The guitars were more at the forefront and the keys were hanging back. Mm-hmm. So I've always loved that dichotomy with them. There's been a few albums, since then, obviously, where the keys were a little too far front and the guitars were just like accompaniment to the keys. But if they're kind of reverting back to that originality, this album could be a really good hit. And of course, you guys have probably figured it out by now. I'm talking about Cradle of Filth.
That was that was Danny Filth's worst face makeup. I hated that face makeup. I liked what he had, like all the other times. Like I didn't like that one.
I get it. It's a little Jack Skellington, but I think it, from what I've read of Danny, and he's another one that I'm hoping to interview. He changes the makeup per record. So obviously there was just something that he must have felt that makeup change kind of went with whatever that record was. I don't know, but yeah, definitely not my favorite. His earlier makeup was always my favorite. Like I'd say the first 10 years, you know what I mean? But man, we're talking about 14 records deep. That's huge for a black metal band. And obviously they're a little bit different. They got the symphonic edge, and let's face it, they've inspired a lot of the newer bands, like Godflesh Apocalypse, and a few others that kind of really incorporate the orchestral side. But I mean, as far as, concept records go, Cruelty and the Beast will always be, in my opinion, their single most just mind-blowing record ever. It's kind of like they took the King Diamond universe and put it in black metal. Because it's like all the way through just telling a story. And their new female vocalist, who is also their keyboardist too, which is pretty awesome, is just amazeballs. This gal is so talented. Let's see here. Cody says her Ghost in the Fog was the first song I ever heard and been hooked ever since. Absolutely. Trust me, if you haven't gotten down, if you've never listened to Cradle before, don't go to Cradle to Enslave. Don't do that. Nephamphetamine was a really good record too. But if you're going to start somewhere, start at Dusk and Her Embrace, Vampire, and then go to Cruelty and the Beast.
That's a great choice. I like those earlier ones too.
They were so good. They were raw and heavy. Like I said, the guitar had a more of a prominence, and their guitar players are very fucking good.
Yeah, these days I would call Cradle of Filth blackened. I wouldn't really call them, to me, like black metal. I think their first few albums had definitely a lot more black metal going for them. And symphonic stuff, it's still good stuff. It's just different. Like it's definitely blackened.
Right.
I just and I don't care. They're good. Danny Filth is one hell of an artist. And if you get him on for an interview, he's such a chill guy. That would be outstanding. What a great interview. Like, you just throw him a few questions and just let him talk. That dude's really intelligent, really bright guy.
Well, this is kind of a special year because there's quite a few irons in the fire, and the first one I'm putting out in 3 days with John Christ of Danzig this Thursday morning. I know. He said, "Can we do 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time?" I was like, day drinking. Yes. Let's go ahead and do it. I haven't done that before, so let's give it a try.
Yeah, you do that for people like Gene Hogland and
oh, dude, if they tell me what time, I say sure, okay.
And another one we have coming up just for you guys is I have Josh Elmore of Cattle Decapitation coming on again. He told me that he'll be back in Berlin on the 14th of this month, and he said he'd be happy to come on, and he's coming on with Nick Turner of A Causal Intrusion, and the topic will be the avant-garde of metal, and Mousebong better be there. Because I think that's right up her alley too, because she seems to be
for sure.
And bizarre, kind of pushing the boundaries type of metal, and that's what we're going to be talking about. And both of those guys know more than I do. They're both like encyclopedias of everything weird, new, and pushing the edge of metal. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I don't have a date yet, but we'll have it soon.
To answer your question, Mousebong, I loved Midian. Midian is very good. It's just that for, let's say, a newer listener, I would rather them follow the progression in that way, which is why I would not suggest that as the first record to check out. Because, you know, if that's where you start, sometimes a listener won't go all the way back. So it's kind of cool to see how they progressed, because in those early records, they were so much heavier than they are on Midian. But Midian is still good. It's just way different from where they began, like their roots.
Yeah. Midian's dark and pretty scary still.
It is. It is.
Hell yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to pull that out tomorrow. So thank you for thank you for bringing that up. I will have to do that.
That's super heavy. Like, I remember the first time I listened to Midian, I was a little creeped out. Like, it was, I think I was
it
just
should creep you out.
I think I was just coming off of breaking up my relationship with Jesus. And so, yeah, I felt like a naughty boy listening to that album.
That's okay. You got to be naughty, man.
Yeah,
that's a good way to start.
For Cradle of Filth 2, but we're going to do a palette cleanse for my next one that I'm excited about. We have a drummer change for Reaper's not favorite band, and these guys all love Jesus, and I don't give a shit if they love Jesus, or at least John loves Jesus, and James Labrie loves Jesus. But Dream Theater has brought back Mike Portnoy, and I'm excited to see. I think what they're wanting is just some new energy and to try something different. And I love the Mangini albums. I think he's a better drummer.
Free Mangini.
Yeah, I really do like Mangini better. Portnoy's more straightforward, kind of like an 80s type of drummer a lot of the time. But I think Mike Portnoy misses Dream Theater a lot, and I think he wants to bring
poor Mike
a different edge to them. So I like Dream Theater. They're my palate cleanse. I play them in my business sometimes, and I'm excited to see what they do differently.
Hopefully it's something better, because for me, even though that I am not really a fan of that band at all, the Mangini years I think were so much better. Um, and I don't think necessarily that it was him specifically that made it better. I think the way they all worked together made their music transcend a little bit more. So, I've heard Portnoy, I've watched thousands of his videos of all the, times that he's played with other drummers, just like, doing like some really cool clinic stuff, clinician stuff, specials and stuff like that. It's not that, Portnoy's not a good drummer. He's very good. And he definitely has a lot more attitude, I would say. Mangini is more of like that consummate professional. He's like the alchemist of drumming. You can literally throw anything in front of him. I literally watched Mangini do an interview on a radio station, and they set up a makeshift drum set for him to play on. It was like plates, some like tin foil, and all this crazy shit. And what he did with it was literally fucking magic. It was like taking coal and turning it into fucking gold. I love that aspect, because like the prog guy, Neil Peart kind of thing, Terry Bozzio, lover that is within me was like, okay, you got my attention. Mm-hmm. I can kind of get with this. So now that Mangini is out, I just don't know. I don't know. But I hope you're right. I hope it does bring something new to the table.
Yeah, I don't like James Labree's voice is gone. Like he is not like Rob Halford. He's not like King Diamond.
Bruce Dickinson.
His voice is gone.
Wow. What does that tell you?
It's not near what it was in the 90s and early 2000s. Not even close. And I saw him live when I lived in Thailand. I had just had surgery. I didn't give a fuck. I had surgery on my knee, and I lived way to that fucking show all by myself. And I had to park like a half mile away. I didn't give a fuck. I had to elevate my leg the whole time.
Man.
In theater, and they sold all their fucking shirts before. They didn't even carry very many shirts, and I got there way early. I got there like an hour early. But
that's weird.
Seeing metal with all kinds of Thai people, that was a very different, more formal experience. Like they're not nuts, and when they were singing along with the songs, that was very interesting too. Because like a lot of Thai speak English, but a whole bunch don't. So if you didn't speak English but you loved Dream Theater and they were singing along, that was very memorable.
Absolutely. When it comes to prog bands like that, I don't necessarily think I always call them like the musicians, type band, because it's not so much that you're looking at the depth of what they're talking about. It's more like you're just enthralled by the musicality, the instrumentalism. So for people to like sing along to them just strikes me as odd. I don't think I could ever imagine a whole hall just kind of like singing along with some of this shit. So I don't know. Maybe they like the content. Could be. It's like Rush. Not every Rush song didn't move me because of the lyrics. It moved me because of the music.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I got to see them times. I miss them. Great.
Oh, dude. They'll never do it again.
Yeah.
Which is sad because, both of the surviving members still have it.
Yeah. I think it was about 2016. I saw them in Vancouver, Canada. And that was their last tour. And they only had after that, so I saw one of their last shows.
Oh, that's amazing.
And they were outstanding. So good.
Absolutely.
Got anything else? I have a list to go through.
Oh, no worries. So the bomb I want to drop is this band hasn't put out a new record since I believe it was 2014, if my memory serves me correctly. Down is officially writing new material, and I believe at the pace and work ethic that they have, that album will be out this year.
I'm excited about that. That's a good one to be excited about.
I can't fucking wait. That's why I was like, I kind of have like two that really get my dick hard, and it's definitely Down about to drop something new.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. I'm excited for that.
Need I say more?
And because it's been so long, I hope they're inspired to, add something a little bit different. Still be Down. Don't go like from, I loved Quiet Riot Metal Health growing up.
Right.
And then when Critical came out, I was like, oh God, this is so overproduced. Totally lost the edge. Or like Motley Crue's, when they went to Theater of Pain, I was like, oh shit, fucking Pink and Lavender, and your album sounds like Pink and Lavender after Shout at the Dark for heavy metal back then.
Right. Good night, Kyler. Thank you for joining, brother.
Tyler, watch the rest of this tomorrow on YouTube, because I'm going to drop about 6 bands that you probably like.
Oh, Paul tells us that Zach Sabbath has another one coming as well.
Yep, that's coming. That is another one. Yep.
Hell yeah.
So one of mine that I think you already mentioned, Mastodon, they have a new one coming out. They've been working on that. Their last one was good. Like, I really liked that. I still want them to go back to their old, heavier ways, even more than they have on the
I do as well.
Yeah. But an up-and-coming band that's on Wise Blood Records, and I'm friends with the guitarist and the founder, and it's a Death Doom band, and they've Decibel Magazine's
wow, on Wise Blood, really?
Love. Decibel Magazine put them out on one of their floppy little flexi discs and put a song or two out on that. And then they just got to play the Denver Death Fest. I think it's December 2nd. And I'm talking about Mother of Graves.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep,
really,
I did hear about that. Yes.
Good, really good Death Doom. I'm so glad that they're getting some love and they're getting attention. Good guys, and they're on Wise Blood Records. So if you're on Bandcamp, you can go to either Mother of Graves or go to Wise Blood Records, and you'll find Mother of Graves.
Yeah, I've been friends with them since the Black Tar days.
Yeah,
that was when they were just coming up.
Yeah, and they've progressed really. And Wise Blood Records did a great job with him.
Oh, dude, I love that guy. He's so cool.
So, sticking with kind of gothic doom, Paradise Lost.
Yep,
is a new one. They should have a new one out this year.
Hell yeah!
With that, the last 3 Paradise Lost albums have been outstanding. Really, really good. Especially the last one, and then the one that came out in, I think 2015 or 16. Those were outstanding. You really like Deftones, but I like Deftones, and they're actually using the same producer from they're Profound Lore now. He didn't fucking.
How about that?
That's great. Great news.
Fantastic. Congratulations to Mother of Graves, man. That's badass.
I love when the audience brings stuff like this. That's what you guys are for. That's why this is how I want our show to be different from others, because we really try to use and incorporate our audience and what you guys have as well. That's great. Great contribution.
Yes, this is our metal classroom.
Yeah. So Deftones
Hell yeah.
coming out, and apparently they've got the Koino album producer and the guy who did Diamond Eyes, that album. I like those two albums a lot. So they're coming out with a new one. Job for a Cowboy has a new one. Sun Eater was the last one, I think 2014. And they really have moved into death metal territory, away from kind of deathcore, metalcore-ish, and I liked that. Judas Priest has a new one coming out.
You stole it from me.
Yeah. Are there any others? I have like 3 more. You want to throw out any others before I steal them?
That was like my last iron in the fire, and I was going to mention Paradise Lost, but you already hit it. So, but Dismantling Devotion says, also, since you mentioned Paradise Lost, My Dying Bride has a new one coming out this year.
That is
Hell yeah!
Yep. That's another good one. I was just listening to My Dying Bride about 2 weeks ago. I think it was the Something Swans album. I can't remember right now off the head, but something that album that they broke out with, I think it was like 1991. Something the Swans. I can't remember right now, but you'll probably remember that. Yeah, My Dying Bride, that's another one. Vitriol, super fast. If you love kind of blackened death metal with a ass load of blast beats. I met the drummer when they opened up for Morbid Angel. We might be having that guy on for an interview fairly soon. And he'd be ending. That dude plays crazy stuff, and he just sits there, and he has to look like a little sleeping baby on his face when he's playing, but he's doing like monster drumming stuff, and he just looks so effortless, hardly any movement in what he's doing. What a stud. Well,
that's how it should be, because it's all in the wrist.
And then another death doom band out of Colorado, I think Denver, Colorado, might be Colorado.
Hell yeah.
So Temple of Void is coming out on, and I love them. I love me some death doom. Temple of Void's got a new one coming out. And then the last one that I will mention here is the vocalist for Emperor, and this dude really is an artist. He's really tried to put some progressive elements into his songwriting now, and he's been doing this for I think 2011 or 2012, and I'm talking about Ihsahn. Every album he's done, like, this dude's great. What a cool, laid-back, humble artist as well. So Ihsahn also has another album that I'm really looking forward to. I'm probably looking forward to his a lot more than some of the others I've talked about, but I mean, every one of these I'm looking forward to. We'll probably buy every one of them.
And I lied. I do have a couple more. So Bruce Dickinson's solo record is slated for release this year, also called The Mandrake Project.
Mandrake Project.
So the fact that this man is like still continuing on, beyond Iron Maiden, is just a true testament to a voice that just hasn't lost a stutter step. Amazing. I don't know he's not human. So, I mean, as long as it's not like, all the young dudes, as long as it's not that, I think this will be something really cool. Another one, and good for him, Mick Mars.
Yeah.
Solo album. He was really the only talented guy in the whole band. So it should be interesting to see what this actually comes out as. Is it going to be that Motley Crue style, or is it going to be heavier? I'm kind of hoping that all that rage and everything that, he's gone through will actually bring something new to the table. Guy's a great guitar player. And I know everyone has what they have to say about this band, but I'm really kind of curious to see what a new Ministry album is going to sound like. Mm-hmm. And the album is called Hopium for the Masses.
Yeah, they're real good.
Go ahead.
Ministry is hit or miss, that's for sure. They
Well,
put out
sure.
studs. I thought early '90s they put out a couple of good albums. Um, the Mick Mars album, I've heard some people who have got to preview it, and they said I think it's kind of like in the vein of Dr. Feelgood, rock and roll, kind of a little bit bluesy.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I'm not gonna. I will of course give it a listen on Spotify, but
Well, that's what I intend to do. I'm not going to buy it.
yeah, I don't have my.
Uh,
I would
I
love.
always test market things before I make that decision. Sadly, that's just kind of the way I do it.
I would love Mick Mars to like melt some people's faces off, especially Nikki Sixx's face off, because he didn't even play.
Please.
He fucking sucked.
Oh man.
But I agree with you. Like, I don't buy everything anymore. Like I used to try to buy, and if I liked the band 20 years ago, I didn't care. I would buy. But now I listen to stuff, and it's got to be good because I don't just want to buy it just to put it in a collection. I want to listen to it. I really want to enjoy it. I want to like it.
Exactly. So, I think that's how every listener should be, really.
Yep. I'm nitpicky. And of course, Circle of Nine is going to have an EP coming out, and Human will have a fucking new album coming out.
Which I am super stoked to be a part of. It has been 2 years since I've been in the studio, and I can't fucking wait. I've always been a live performer, but there's something about the creative process in recording that is almost just as rewarding as playing live. I've been dropping like a lot of like hints and stuff. Obviously, Circle of Nine. You have I've also dropped a lot as far as the new Human the Hoof Beast record. You're gonna see different sides of both of us, and I think it's probably the best stuff we've ever done.
Yeah.
And to say that at 47 years old, like. That makes me feel really fucking good to say that because it's so different. It's just more dynamic, more evil, more powerful. It's not like, shit that's really going on in the underground these days. So between the two of us, we're bringing you some seriously different and good stuff. So we will keep you, apprised of when that stuff is coming. Dismantling Devotion says the big ones I'm looking forward to are the New Blood Incantation and Spectral Voice, also Skeletal Remains and Necrophobic. Goddamn, thank you for letting us know because now it's on my radar. So I'm going to definitely watch out for those and check them out.
The Blood Incantation is supposed to be like, there's some people have got to preview it and it sounds like it's going to be heavier and darker than anything they've done yet. So I'm like,
ooh, awesome. That's in our wheelhouse. So, that's kind of, what we're looking forward to. Seems like a lot of you are looking forward to those records too. Some of you didn't know certain things were coming out. So we're very happy to let you know that is coming. Obviously, as far as Down, when that dropped, the earth stopped rotating. So I don't know anyone that could have missed that, especially if you're a Down fan. Mm-hmm. But you guys have actually also told us about stuff we didn't know about. And we love that shit. And we appreciate that so much because we are musicians, but we're fans at heart too. Always will be lifelong fans of new music coming out, people pushing, boundaries, and some of these iconic bands. I mean, the fact that it just floors me. Judas fucking Priest, King Diamond, Merciful Fate, putting out records after 40, almost 50 years. That shit is amazeballs.
Yeah.
It is a true testament to these musicians that even in this day and age, they are still as relevant as they always have been. If we, myself and Hoofbeast, if we could ever have that, even if it's just underground, I don't care about fuck the mainstream. I don't give a shit. But in the underground, if we could have that type of longevity, oh man, that just makes it all the more special.
I'm gonna do this shit till I'm in my 80s or 90s. I don't give a fuck. It's in my blood. I can't help it. I mean, I can't wait to be on YouTube or whatever version of YouTube they have 20 years from now. Dude, that's fucking
right.
Old.
Whatever new is created.
But he's always trying to be inventive, and he's always trying to do something different.
Absolutely. Because even though we're getting older, we still push ourselves.
Yeah.
Look at Gene Hoglan.
Oh, man.
As far as drummers go, Gary Holt and Kerry King soldiering on, man. So there's always something new around the corner.
Testament
Keep your ears to the ground.
Testament's probably going to have a new one as well.
Fuck yeah. Go ahead, Chuck Billy, with your bad self.
Hell yeah. What a great guy.
Oh, man. What is it? Alex Skolnick as well. All those fucking guys. They don't ever lose their passion for being creative. So, and if it's taught us anything, these newer records, man, almost better than their most iconic records they've ever had. Totally fucking cool shit. We thank you guys so much for choosing us on this desolate Monday evening to at least, if anything, we've taught you something. We've made you laugh. The clowns that we are. So we totally appreciate you guys tuning in every Monday. And it's great to be back. It was a great show. And like Hoofbeast said, I think, honestly, the most important episode yet. To start I couldn't think of a better episode to start on than this right here, for sure. So
it really is.
Go right ahead.
Like a family. We all love metal. We might have different preferences, but we all love basically the same kind of tone and character of music.
And for everyone out there that says metal is dead, couldn't be fucking healthier. We ain't going nowhere. There's always a diamond in the rough to find. And, like Hoofbeast said, pushing those limits. It's just a really exciting time in metal history. And we're glad to be a part of it. And we're glad you're a part of it too, because without y'all, there's no us. I mean, that's just the truth of it.
We are of the black sheep.
The blackest of the black. As always, hail the GOAT. And make sure that when these records drop, you check that shit out. Let us know. Don't be afraid when, from Monday to Monday, let us know, hey, you listened to it. You thought this about it. Fuck yeah. Let us know, because we're excited. You're excited. And it'll be great to discuss these new awesome records as they drop. So I know you're going into the Tuesday commute for a lot of you and us as well. Don't take no shit off of nobody. It is 2024. Stay fucking weird. Be yourself. Fuck the mainstream. And always, most importantly, stay heavy.
All residents, go in and stay in your houses. Drive the rats in the tank area.